Düsseldorf, Germany. The synagogue was a huge block-wide synagogue, magnificent with marble and so on, really quite an extraordinary place. Almost 70 years ago, this coming November, I stood in front of my burning synagogue. I can still feel the screams I let out when people ran into the burning building, and the relief I felt when they came out carrying the scrolls of the Torah aloft. And 2 months later, the Gestapo came and arrested my dad. That Passover, we celebrated the holiday. And like Jews in the diaspora had said for 2,000 years, as a wish, a hope, a dream, L'Shana Haba b'Yerushalayim, next year in Jerusalem. Well, you can't imagine what it felt like when on the occasion of Israel's 25th anniversary, the American Conference of Cantors ended up in Israel. But in Jerusalem, at the banquet, I found out that I was going to become the president of the American Conference of Cantors. And also, I've got to say that 4 of my 10 grandchildren are Sabras. So the reason I mention all this is to tell you that wishes come true, hopes become realized, dreams become fulfilled, because that's what it was when we said L'Shana Haba b'Yerushalayim, a hope, a wish, a dream. And it became fulfilled, it became reality. Well, it was the second class to graduate. And as a result, it was time to organize the Cantor, to make it reform, or at that time, the school was to serve Klal Yisrael, all denominations. There were no other schools in America or even in the world at that time. So when we had the organizational meeting, they invited all the great cantors, Orthodox, Conservative, Reform. And when we had our business meeting, I remember we were discussing the fact that we wanted to have the same procedure that the rabbis had, namely $10,000 yearly salary, 10% pension, which is what pension was in those days, and convention. Well, a cantor from the Tremont Temple in the Bronx named Henry Heller, I can picture him now, stood up with a wonderful German accent and said, "You are dreamers. I've been a cantor for over 50 years. I don't make $6,000 a year, and I never had 1 penny in pension." He should be around today to see what really happened in that regard. We were maybe dreamers, but I think even myself, I might have settled for $10,000 a year for the rest of my life. But thank goodness I didn't sign a contract at that time. If there is a God, God is a creator, and if we want to be God-like, we must be creative. And God knows I wanted Judaism to be vital. So much of my life has been involved in the creative arts, and performing and creating Jewish operas in particular. I tell you, after 45 years in my temple, they had a service and a concert and a dinner, and all the affiliates had affairs for me, and my kids came in for all this to do, and we were sitting at a table together at one of the dinners, and my kid said, "Dad, if you had to do it all over again, what would you do?" And I was happy to say, I'd become a chazan. I'd be a cantor.